Hey guys, what's up? It's Uncle Zunky here, and I've just been chopping a bit of ivy. Unfortunately, I'm not going to record myself getting a level because, well, earlier today there was kind of a bit of a glitch thing where RuneScape updated something, and then no one was able to log on for about half an hour. So, just logging back on now onto this account, and I was doing some ivy earlier. I got 69 woodcutting. I should get 70 later today. But what I figured I'd do today is a farm run because. For whatever reason, I think low-level content is really nice to watch in any skill. So farming is a good skill that I haven't really shown yet that I should do some low-level content on. I think the reason why low-level content is kind of fun to watch, for example, when I do Slayer, people want to see the lower-level creatures getting slayed. It's because all you see on YouTube is the higher-level stuff. You don't really get to see the low-level stuff because low levels either don't make videos or I don't know why, but anyway, yeah, I farm curry trees and willow trees. And what I'm going to be doing right now is, first of all, a herb run. The herbs I plant are Aventos, which I should have bought some seeds overnight. What is that? Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. No idea why, but someone just left 5 crushed nests on the ground. I'm not mad, I'll take them. So anyway, yes, I gotta check the GE and get my Aventos seeds, which should have bought, and my energy pots have also bought, which is pretty nice. So I plant Aventos because they are fairly good profit at the moment, and I should have my ring right there. So all you need for an effective farming run is basically 2 things, which is the Ghost Ahoy quest and the Lumbridge Diary up through the medium tasks, because Lumbridge doesn't have any elite tasks because it's Lumbridge. They have beginner, easy, medium, and hard. In the medium tasks, it's not very hard to get the requirements for those. They are pretty low-level requirements. So once you get the medium tasks and complete the Ghost Ahoy quest, it's all you really need to do a pretty decent farm run. So anyway, that's what I'm doing here. And then with the new lodestone update, it's really easy to get to Artie. You don't even need an Artie teleport right now because the lodestone gets you pretty close to the farming patch. And then obviously the Catherby lodestone gets you pretty close to the farming patch. So pretty much with the lodestone update, 2 of the 4 farming patches are pretty easy to get to. And also if you don't want to do the Lumbridge tasks, you can also just use the Draenor lodestone. It gets you pretty close to the farming patch. It's obviously just a little faster if you use the cabbage ring. So anyway, Aventos aren't exactly great experience, but I do plant them just because they are fairly good money. They're the best money-making herb that I can plant at my farming level without Juju farming pots. Actually, the best 2 herbs at the moment are Lantidimes and Dwarf Weeds, apparently, which is kind of crazy. Because dwarf weeds have always been decent XP, but not really great money, so that's a bit odd. So anyway, yeah, just gonna go to the cabbage port now. And I actually just recently completed the Grand Tree quest, and the only reason I did the quest was for the 2 farming patches, because there are 2 farming patches in the Grand Tree, and although you can get to them without completing the quest, it is just extremely annoying to have to run all the way from the Ardougne lodestone all the way to the Grand Tree. So after you complete the quest, you can just use the spirit trees to go straight to the Grand Tree. So that's the reason why I did that quest. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to just continue on this farm run and start doing some more interesting things such as curry trees and willow trees. Alright, well I completed my farm run, and I'm just going to buy my pineapples and seaweed every day, because this is what you got to do. The pineapples I actually use to make super compost, and the seaweed I store up. I'll actually price check how much seaweed I have in my bank at the moment, because it's all really from buying the seaweed from Arheim every day. So if we type in seaweed, so pretty much all that seaweed is from Arheim. I might have gotten a little bit from Dagonos, but for the most part this is all from Catherby. See, that's almost 600k. Not bad, it really does add up. And then all this super compost, you see I have 260 super compost here. I made all this myself. I just used regular compost before, so this does add up. It saves you quite a bit of money having to use the compost. So basically after you do your farm run, you basically just use the empty buckets with the compost bin that you filled up previously, and then you go to the bank, withdraw 15 pineapples and 10 buckets, and you can get the rest of the compost out. And then yeah, it saves a lot of money having to buy super compost, and it doesn't take too long. So not really a huge deal. So I have probably used a lot of super compost, and I didn't have to pay for any of it. So hey, there you go. I forgot to price check how much my Aventos were worth, but unfortunately, without the Juju farming potions, it's really not worth very much money at all. Herb runs aren't all that profitable. I usually get maybe 100k from doing one herb run, so it's not like bank is being made or anything. So it's time to do the tree run now. If you look at my pouch, you see I have 18 mil. If you saw me withdraw 15 mil from my GE, that was because, well, that was just because of the kind of losing my words here, but I got 70 herblore. So if you look at my herblore tab, you see I have 70 herblore. So I made all those potions and I sold them all. I lost about 10 mil doing that, which is a lot more than I expected. But super energies were actually pretty expensive, which I had no idea, because the Avento potions, I just put them in for mid and I thought, hey, they'll just buy way under, but they didn't. They bought for way more than they were supposed to. So basically I lost a lot more money than I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to lose 5 mil. I ended up losing twice that, but hey, I got the money kind of cheaply because I was just taking advantage of the bonus experience weekend of merch. So before I start my tree run, I always go to the cactus patch, because you get 3 cactus spines and they're worth like 5k each, maybe 4k each. So they're really, really worth planting a cactus. And then after that, I go back to Catherby, and there's a couple curry trees there. I basically have 5 curry saplings and 5 willow saplings, and I plant all these. I'm actually going to be using a Juju teleport spirit bag, which I have not used before, so I haven't actually planted any trees in the herblore habitat. I'm just doing that for the first time today. So, but I think it's definitely worth doing just because it's an extra tree. And yes, these spirit bags cost 2k each, but still, it is an extra. I'm not sure how much experience it is, but it is worth it. I was actually going to buy some calquat trees because, well, I just completely forgot about the level requirement, and it turns out you need 78 farming to plant calquats, and I completely forgot about that, so that was kind of a fail. But anyway, chop down this curry tree, and it actually is worth keeping these curry leaves, because they do sell in the GE and they are worth a fair amount. Actually, if you plant curry trees, you do make money. See, these things are worth 750 each. So just by planting curry trees, you're actually making money, which is crazy because you're training farming and making money and not doing herbs. It sounds really weird, but yeah, it works. So after this, I just basically go to Brimhaven. So I'm not going to show that because this one takes a while. Okay, the curry tree is planted, so it's time to move on to the next area. And what I do is I just use the Varrock Lodestone. Basically, the way I do farming runs, I don't use any teleports at all, so it is pretty nice just not having to even worry about any teleport runes or sort of things. It takes a little longer, but I do want to have everything in my inventory at once, so that's the reason why I do it. And I'm not terribly concerned with getting the farming run done as fast as possible. It's also really useful to bring energy potions if you're a lower agility level, like I'm only level 50 agility, so energy potions do help, and they're really cheap. I actually bought, I think, about 1,000 energy potions, and I've just been slowly working through them on the farming runs. And every single time you see these pumpkins, it's so distracting because you think it's a penguin. At least I do. So this willow tree is indeed healthy, which means I'm going to get the level off of this. There should be 66 farming, which is awesome. I've got almost all of this level, or all to the point that I'm at. I've gotten this completely off of doing herbs and trees, just like I'm doing right now. And I have noticed, like, I've been talking to people lately, and they're all saying, like, oh yeah, I don't do farming because it's too hard, or I don't understand it. It's actually really simple. All you do is you plant your tree, and then come back the next day and check it and plant again. It's not terribly difficult. So anyway, yeah, time to go to Tree Gnome Village, I do believe. Actually, I'm going to go to the Grand Tree first, just because it's a shorter run back to the Spirit Tree. So after I go to Tree Gnome, basically when I will go to Tree Gnome Village, what I want to do is just have to check the tree, and then I can teleport out. So this is really nice, being able to go to Tree Gnome Stronghold, as I just did the quest yesterday, as I said, because there's both a fruit tree patch here and a regular tree patch, which is awesome. To be honest, I wish there was more tree patches in the game, but hey, what can you do? I guess farming's just, you can't really make it much faster than it goes, because there's only a certain amount of patches. So yeah, just gonna go to the willow patch, and then I'm gonna hit up Tree Gnome Village. Alright, finished the Tree Gnome Village. So basically, even though I just got 66, I'll get 67 farming in probably 2 days from now with all the herb runs that I do as well as tree runs. So as you can see, farming is a really easy skill to train. I don't think there's any excuse not to train it because all it is one run a day, and it takes 5 minutes if you use teleports and stuff. Since I'm not using the best teleports, it does take a bit longer for me, but that's just because I want to fit everything in my inventory. So luckily this tree is grown, the last willow wasn't. So anyway, yeah, as you can see, farming is really easy. You just collect all those trees, and there you go. So I have 2 trees left, which are the ones in Falador and in the Taverley area, the beginner's area, as Jagex made it into. And you use the Falador lodestone for both of those, which is pretty close by actually, because the way they updated Taverley, you used to be able to use the house portal and it would put you really close to the tree, but you can't do that anymore. So now what you need to do is just use the Falador lodestone and run a bit north. It's not too far off. So anyway, I hope this video was at least a I I teleported to Taverley. I meant to teleport to Falador. My mistake. But anyway, I hope this video was at least somewhat informative. You know, I know a lot of people don't do farming. It's a really good skill to train, really fun. One of my favorites. So yeah, and this is just pretty much a low-level method of training farming. You can also make a lot of money off of this skill by doing cactus spines. You can also pick fruit for money. That becomes really good money at higher farming levels. And there's just a lot of different ways you can make money through farming, which I have made a guide on in the past. But yeah, this is basically how you train farming at lower levels. And well, stay tuned for more videos. I should be also uploading a Road to Max Cape video today, which I've been working really hard on getting those levels, so that should be great. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy your lives, and farewell.